Righto. Morning, team. Just trying to mitigate some of the light pollution. Mind you, I probably need to do a little bit more than that. Never mind. Okay. Yeah, look, still working on the lighting, team. Don't judge. Well, you can judge, Kush can. I won't judge you in this world. Right. Let's make sure I've got all my crap. There's a couple in there that you can't quite see. I'll just have a look and see if I can make it any easier. Little glare, no big deal. Yeah, the lighted board. Yeah, I know. We're on a shoestring. Nah, the lights all died on it, so I've got to get some new ones. But look, it is what it is. I'll just change these. I think I can overlap them a little bit. Might be able to see it a little bit better. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so it's a little bit messy, but don't you worry about that. We're doing some pieces today, just 1 minute pieces. As you'll see, we step up through the rating, but we're actually going to do a pyramid. What's it? It's like it's more of a zigzag with our drag factor. Okay, and so it's another way of just having to play with your settings, having a little bit of this one's more around the speed. So we start off and the first sort of 4, 5, we go up above our drag factor, and then we come right down below it, and then we go back up again. Okay, so I don't know whether I've made it big enough on the side here, but for example, this is the example. If you start on 4, then you'll go 4 for the first one, then you go 5, 6, 5, 4, and then we go 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you can see how we go up, we come down to the bottom, and then we go back up again to our individual. Okay, and so that is the basics of what we're going to do. It's a little bit probably more difficult because I've got the plus 15s and stuff like that on the side here. But really what we're doing is we start the first couple, we're at 24 rates for the first one, second one, we go up to 26 for a couple, and then we go 28, we get into 30s, and then we're sort of 30, 32, getting closer to the end. And then the last one, we'll just build it through the whole piece, okay? Mainly around, obviously, when we go up with the power, so it's only twice up, but there's 3 sets, if that makes sense. Go up 1, up 2, back 1, back to 0. We're really looking for just the feeling of that extra resistance, right? We just have to work it a little bit more. Obviously, have the press. Think about we're not going to have as much momentum around the finish, so there's a little bit more of creation. But then when we go down in the drag and it starts getting really fast, then everything's about that speed. Okay, the speed of the leg drive, the speed of the movements, the patience into the front. not thinking so much about, like, because the take-up's going to be super quick, especially when we get right down. And so it really is just about managing that movement, okay? Thinking about the movement, thinking about the drive. And then as we build it back up again, we're obviously having that addition of resistance. So keeping the same focuses that we've had, because once we get that like almost zero resistance, we've got to have that drive and we've got to have that hang. We don't have the time to try and, I guess, feel the connection as such. So we've got to trust in that movement, because when it's going really fast, we can't get that sort of take up and then we feel, okay, good, got the drive, boom, and we're through, right? We don't quite get that. So obviously, we have to just think about trusting in our hang, right? Trusting in that movement, trusting that we're coming to the front, we're in a position, and we're just feeling that drive and we're just pushing away from it, and we'll feel that acceleration through the stroke, okay? A lot of this as well, the numbers are going to be quite skewed, so to speak, because obviously when you add that resistance, it's easier to get speed. When we take it off, it's quite a lot harder because we're not getting as much pickup, plus you've got to fucking really give it some. So be mindful of what you're seeing, okay? But have the process and the thought about what we're doing, how we're doing, okay? Be accepting of that, because once we get back up to these last couple, right, we've got the last two sets are back up at the normal drag, 30, 32, 34, 36 for the last one. We're going to go from 30 to 36 or whatever. We're really just thinking about that's when we're going to have taken the extra pressure that we started with, and then the less pressure with the less drag, and we're going to bring them all together, and the last two sets, boom, right? That's our money. And so that's really the situation, okay? So it is slightly complicated. Hopefully this sort of makes the example. Okay, we go up two. So we start on zero, we go up two numbers, we come back down, and then we go down three numbers, and then we come back up three numbers. Okay? So, as I say, 4, 5, 6. This is if you're using it on 4. I'm just using it as a round number here. 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then obviously the last one will be 4 again. Okay, so that's the situation. Okay, so we'll just get warmed up now. Hopefully my horrific cough has disappeared, because, mate, it lasted for a good old week, which was a pain in the ass. Take that one down. Okay, so I'll call the ratings as we're going through, just because I can see the board. But the first couple, we're going to start just at 24. Nice rhythm, nice patience. We do a couple at 26. We got 3 at 28. Once we start coming back past that midsection, okay, the midpoint, then we go our last one when we're on 1, or your lowest drag, I should say, is at 30 rate, and then we come back up from there, okay? So the last 2, or the last 3, should be 30 rating or above, and just looking for that momentum and rhythm, hang, okay? Really focus this hang, because it is going to be difficult, especially when we get down to the low stuff. We just don't have this like there, like once we roll in and we get this connection, We can feel that connection. And then we can feel that our legs are driving, that the body's coming through and continuing on the movement that we've created. But when the flywheel speed is moving at such a quick pace, very difficult to feel like that connection through the drive. And that's where the trust in your movement and what you've sort of done previously comes into effect, so that you can feel it, you can hold the hang, and you can just push. You can just feel the drive. And the sequence will take over. We don't have to search, okay? We don't have to like search for, oh, I've got that feeling of pressure. I can feel it. I can feel my hang. I can feel all of that, okay? And that's the key about today, is just trusting, but moving quickly, setting ourselves up. We'll get that feeling in the first half of the workout. And then the second part is really the quickness and the movement speed, okay? So really just warming into it here. Elasticity, patience. Feeling the hang. Good. Excuse me. Okay, nice rhythm here. Stay nice and loose. Just be elastic. Think about natural compression. Hang under the arms. Okay. So let's just build it up here a little bit. Let's build up the rating, 22, 24. Just let it come with that little bit of extra press. Okay, this one. Now. Okay, freedom of movement. Once we're onto that speed, maintain, hang. Okay, you can settle here. I'm just gonna feel this rhythm at 24, just so we're ready to start the pieces. Okay, take it down. Okay, nice. Okay, just firm it again. We'll just build for another sort of 15 odd strokes. 24, 26. Moving in. Now. Okay, feel the speed. Just a natural creation. A good hang. A few more. Okay, take it off. Okay. We're using the first few here to build up into that rhythm, feeling, but whenever we are doing a workout which requires a little bit of rate, we always want to just touch on it prior, okay? And then ultimately, if we start at quite a quite a high rating, then we need to make sure we've built up enough to then be able to start it at that rating, okay? So just firm it here a little bit. Perfect. Okay. Right. Okay. So, we'll set the monitor. Okay. We'll just going to jump on the intervals as normal. I'll just talk about, like, if you can't see it here already, the different ratings that we want to try and achieve. And then obviously the different drag factors we're going to change. So we're basically going to be changing every single time. Like obviously we'll do the first one, and then we will change for at least the next 10 sets, up or down. So we're going up, then we're going down, then we're going back up again. Boom, back to square one. Finish it off well, okay? Easy doors. So let's get set. Select workout, new workout, intervals, time, okay? 1 minute set time, 1 minute rest time. Just leave that flashing for a second. Okay, let's press that checkbox. So take a note of where your drag is on this one. Every change is basically a number, okay? Can be slightly less if you're not comfortable with going super high, but ideally trying to keep round numbers and that sort of thing here. So that's going to be, that's the way forward for this session, okay? Right, okay, 24 rate for this first one. Just get into a nice rhythm. Maintain the focus of the form. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? Go. Okay, the elastic. Move freely. Nice and even. Okay, feel this hang here. A nice rhythm around the turn. Okay, really good. Stay really loose. Piece of cake. Excuse me. Residual. Bloody cough. Crikey. Okay, piece of cake. First one. Okay. Ramp that. Take up a number. Okay. So, same feeling again. Just should feel a little bit, I guess, longer on the drive. The take up might feel easier, but just remember, keep that same hang, the process of that, okay, even though we're going to have this resistance. Okay, here we go. Build. Now. Okay, feel the hang. Okay, nice drive. Already lock in that feeling of hang. Try and stay out of the arms in terms of strength. Focus on this hang under the armpits. Connection through the core. Okay, good. Oh, nice. So, excuse me. So feel that, like that resistance, okay? Think about resistance and the effect it has on the body and a feeling, okay? Don't change what we're trying to do because we have the resistance, okay? Feel what effect it's having on your body, okay? So you're still holding the same sort of hang, okay? The drive, you're still trying to get that same drive, okay? But there's an effect that it's having on it, okay? So bump that up another number, okay? We need to move a little bit quicker on this one to get to 26. Firm. Moving in now. Okay, so we've got this hang. We're going to have to feel the drive speed. Okay, nice long arms. Stay out of the shoulders. Good push. One smooth drive. Okay, push that body through the drive. Okay. So feel that difference. Okay. A little bit more difficult in terms of the press. The drive feels slower. Okay, because it doesn't have that air staying in the wheel and the flywheel to really hold that acceleration that we create. Okay, so put that down, your number. Okay, same rating. We should be one number now above our normal drag. Use this less drag now to actually feel that acceleration. Okay, feel the hang, build. Now, 26. Okay, nice. Feels a little bit easier than the last one. Focus this hang. Feel the push. The drive. Oh, nice. Patient with the elastic pack up. Oh, good. Okay, so feel the difference. That first one to me, like laboured, I guess, it's a good term. That one there felt a bit quicker, a little bit more speed. Still feeling that I had to create sort of my momentum because of that resistance, okay? So, back to our normal drag, okay? 28 strokes a minute. So, we'll build into it, get onto a rhythm, tap it along, okay? Here we go. Firm, build, and moving in now. Don't be elastic. Okay, feel the hang. Feel this rhythm. Metronomic. Tap it along. Okay, lovely. While we're moving, pick the speed. Good. Okay. Not bad. Okay. Got plenty of time in between these pieces to think about what we're doing, think about how we're creating it. Okay. Going down. Hey, come on. Hey, is it scaring you? Why don't you go bark at some cats or something? So, same rating again, 28. We're now just below our normal drag factor. So build it here. Moving in. Now, okay, should feel relatively quick on that drive. So let's remember, hang. Accelerate. Let that hang connection happen out the front. Okay? Nice speed, rhythm and flow. Nice, got pretty good. Okay. I feel that difference. Feeling that speed. Okay. Tap that down again. Okay. So this should be 2 numbers below your normal drag, give or take. Okay, this is going to feel quite quick. This is what I alluded to before. Same again at 28. Just move with the quickness, be confident. Okay, building. Move now. Okay, be elastic. Feel the inertia around the finish. Handle speed coming in quick. Feel the speed out. Right through. Accelerate that body. And think about pulling the handle. Speed happened to us. Good. Okay, nice. Hey, feel that difference. Okay. There's just no real time at the front to be like, I've got my connection. Okay. This is why it's a really good tool to be able to go, well, I'm not going to have time to feel it. So I've got to roll into it. It's a thought about my elasticness and then just drive it away. Speed away. Okay. Hold that speed throughout. Okay. Going down to our bottom. We go up to 30 rate for this. Okay. Firm. Build. Moving now. Okay. It's going to feel quick. Accept it. Momentum. Body compress and then just drive away. Leave the arms out long. Good. Breathe. Feel the speed. Wowza. Okay. Okay, so just feel like that is just crazy, right? Feeling the quickness, it's just got to happen. Don't have time to even really think about like a connection here. That's got to go, okay? So we come back up a number, okay? We're staying on 30 rate. Okay, this one you'll have a little bit more time, okay, firm around the catch, but not much. Moving now. Hold the same process. Just rolling in, compress naturally, and then just push away. Legs drive the body. Hang. One push. Sequence together. Armpits. Good. Okay. It's a little bit more resistant. Still focusing on that speed. Okay. Okay. Should be one number below our normal drag. Okay. This one's 30 to 32. Just see where you can go. If we keep it free, we might get closer to 32. Otherwise, 30 is the number. Okay. Firm. Build. And move. Okay. Keep that same thought process around the hang. Just need more stability. Good. The other hang. Use that body. Drive it through the middle. Good. Okay, so 2 more pieces left. Back to our normal drag. Okay, take what we've been learning, moving through the different feelings. Okay, stay loose, stay relaxed, feel the hang. Okay, build. 32, we get it there. Moving now. Okay, hang, hands, feet, and seat. Connection points. Good. Sit back. Hang, long arms. Elastic. Good. Hold this. Good. Okay, so feel that. Back towards that focus. Okay, right on the limits of our press, our hand. Okay, the resistance that we feel. So this last set, build it. I got 30 to 36 every 15 seconds. Think about moving quicker, okay? A little bit more pace, more freedom, relaxation. Holding. Now. Okay, start a good baseline here. Okay, free it up. Few strokes. Feel the speed. Hang. Build again. Now. Armpits. Flywheel speed. Build. Now. To the drive. Perfect. Great numbers. Okay, it was great. Pretty intense that last piece. Okay, so let's reset that monitor. Okay, saves your memory. Go back and have a look. Let's just roll it out here. Okay, and you know, it's a good session to potentially extend. You know, we could extend the time segments out, keep the rate just a little bit less, okay? But it's about having trust, okay? Trust in what you're doing. Because especially once we get around that almost zero drag, it becomes just, this is what I'm doing, right? It becomes, this is how I'm rowing. I'm hanging on whatever. Now, if you're not quite getting the front connection, it's going to feel pretty awful, right? Because it's going to feel like, you know, sequenced all to hell, rather than something nice and smooth and a good drive through, because maybe we are coming here and we need that sort of connection to feel ourselves driving through, okay? Rather than letting that connection happen with the elasticity and the hang tension of the body, okay? It's a really good tool to just have a bit of a self-check, Okay, that's why for me, once we got up in that low drag right down the bottom, like felt like the handle was coming in here like 100 mile an hour. And so all I'm doing is just holding it, feeling that speed around the finish, right, which is that inertia. But I obviously can feel a really nice hang off the front, not thinking that I need to feel like a connection point, okay? I can feel that connection sort of mold into that drive just because of my experience. So a session like this is really good where you can do it at home at any time and just start to think about this check of like what's happening there, right? Am I coming in and am I just getting onto it? Or do I need to feel like there's a point where it feels heavy or connected, so to speak, rather than I'm driving, I am already connected. I've just connected through that take up. Okay, and that's the difference between probably being really efficient out the front and maybe having something that slightly is limiting you currently, okay? Because that is this part here, how we get back onto our speed. Doesn't matter what rating we're doing, whether we're doing 20 rate, 36, 24, whatever pressures, okay? This part around here generally dictates how far we can go, how fast we can go, because that area there is if we have to feel tightness or we have to feel a heaviness or a connection, so to speak, we're using a lot of energy to feel that, okay, which therefore takes away from some of this ability to be able to hang and swing, right, through the middle. And that's why, yes, I'm generally, we don't have enough time here to do like a lot of exercise stuff, but this sort of half slide work and just feeling this, because you're already at this hang position. And so you can't really like go, I need to get a connection. We just have to be like, I'm just going to drive back. Okay. Just going to drive back. And we're generally in the position where we're still pushing well with the feet, but the body is taking over and the arms are just holding and hanging and following through to the finish, right? And that's a really nice part of the stroke. It's sort of that half to say 2/3, like this part here should feel like a really lovely swing through the stroke, right? Should feel like there's a lot of body in terms of position from there to here, okay? If we're feeling more like that, or there's not much of a swing, okay, that's something we need to work on in terms of getting our body motion forward, okay, getting across to then be able to get this rhythm and swing, okay? So that's going back to what I was talking about at the start about evaluating the session, okay, as if we're not quite getting onto the speed of the stroke through that there, and we're having to either feel something or use a little bit of body to get that feeling of connection. It's what we just need to continue working on, okay? And maybe doing some sessions or some speed stuff similar to this can help, because you've just got to come in and you've just got to push out, okay? There's no time to feel connection or like a take up or a strength. We just have to come in and be out, okay? And that's the trust in what our body's doing, so that when we do have that resistance, yes, we're going to feel more resistance through the drive, okay? But the same process should apply to that part there, okay? Yes, it's going to feel a little bit heavier, a little bit more take-up pressure, okay? But that there at a normal drag to a flat out nothing drag, okay, should still be the same sort of movement, okay, just without that take and that going, oh, actually, I can feel my muscles holding my stability, and then I'm going to have a little bit of strength to drive it through. Whereas on a zero, it's basically just boof, straight through, okay? Great session, though. Hope you guys enjoyed that, because it is a really, I think, as I said, we've done a couple of high rating ones, but not, we probably don't do them enough. Yeah. Ronnie, hey guys, been a long time since we can make live ones. We're training on the water. Do you have any hot tips and drills to help me turn my core on at the catch? See, the thing is, it's not like having to turn it on, right? It's about when you're rolling in, whether it's here or on the water, Ronnie, right, is whatever position you're in with your body, and as I say, I'm not a rigid person. I'm an elastic sort of guy to be here, not like super up here trying to like really fucking hold everything in. I still have strength when I'm in this nice, comfortable, elastic position. But it's just whatever's there is there, okay? And it's just the ability to be honest, it's about the ability to not think about turning it on, but it being connected, okay? So you don't have to come here and go, you know, like come into the catch and go, okay, I've got it, right? It's ability to roll in and go, I know that it's connected, because once I start pressing, the engagement will happen naturally. Otherwise, if it doesn't, I'll go like this, right? I'll just lose this because I don't have the ability to hold my body in that posture. So it should happen naturally, rather than being like, I've got to be, you know, I've got to try and switch it on, because it should already be like, if your core's not on, you're probably going to be like this, right? And you're just going to like, meh. Whereas you've got a little bit of core holding our stability and our posture, okay, we're going to be like this. Now, if we try and engage it too much, right, that's where we're very much like this, and it becomes rigid and not effective, in my opinion, okay? Great workout, Chris. Reduced drag, definitely allow for focusing on my stroke. Perfect. Had some perfect force curves. Oh, mate, great. That's what I like to hear, pal. Love a good textbook force curve. Beautiful. Started cruising, cursing you on the penultimate. Great one today. Super fresh and punchy. Thanks. No worries. Yeah, different, right? And that's it. Yeah, I'm going to sit down and just work out a whole ton more stuff that we can use. Because the one thing is, right, I probably should look at doing a lot more sort of drilly stuff like this, et cetera, because we obviously, you know, it's great work doing a whole lot of stuff, but we can probably do most of our fitness things like in our own time, you know, just rolling and whatever. And generally, I think we do a very good job of just, you know, maybe some things to think about, changes that need to be made, what we have to do. I'll just talk about it, chirp on, blah, blah, blah. But I will think about a whole lot of other stuff because, mate, we can do, it's unlimited, fucking unlimited. Got to ask about the construction job. Why you double up the studs? Oh, yeah. Well, that one there is like 6 of them because that's holding a massive 450 by 7 metre beam. New Zealand building code, I could take that down, I could show you. Is different. We do intermediary nogs, horizontal nogs. So we don't just have vertical, and then we don't just like plywood the outside or whatever Americans and stuff do. We're all like a box section. So we have a full vertical stud, and we have nogs in between. If your normal building height of 2.4 metre, what's that in feet? Is that 12 feet? No, whatever feet it is. You have 8 foot, whatever, 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot. 2.4 metre. You can go a single, at 600 spacings. And then if you go to 2.7, then you've got to go 400 spacings, and you can go single. Once you get above 2.7, you then have to go a double stud at 600, which is most of this. But then if you go above 3 metre, which most of that stuff is up through the middle, then you got to go a double every 400, which is just horrific. And plus it's a bracing wall. So this wall here, basically, because this is a massive garage, and on the other side there's a sleep out. So this is basically the middle point to stop the house twisting and blah, 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 like apart from all the other stuff everywhere. That's how that one is, Chris. Okay, so boom. Pim, such an interesting session with the zigzag drags. The changing rates and drags made me feel the nuance of the efforts and relaxation through each piece. Yeah, and that's, and it's a funny one as well because, like, I think, like one of these ones, the 9th or the 10th one, fuck, I had great speed. And but it felt easy, but it was quick. And this is hence like your conundrums where you're like, well, I personally didn't really feel like it would be sustainable. Well, feel like it would be sustainable for a while and then there just wouldn't be enough to keep it going, right? Whereas once I was down here on 32 and I was back to my normal drag, I was like, oh, look, that feels more of my equilibrium in terms of my speed and my power and the rating and moving, stuff like that. But yes, it's a really good one. And, I feel like it's power stroke work is really good on a general basis, once a week, put it in there. Okay, you as we were talking about here with what Ronnie was saying in terms of like your stability and stuff like that, it's really helpful with stability, right? Because you have to, because you chuck that drag up, it's fucking heavy. The flywheel doesn't get an acceleration because there's all the air's escaping, so it just feels sort of laboured and slow through the stroke. So you've got to think more about your press and holding the hang, trying to keep the body into position, that type of thing. Now, when you get later into seasons or you start thinking, fuck, I need to really, I'm not rating enough, right? Lowering your drag on the other side of it helps with rating because you just got to move fast, right? And so as a tool, it's a really, really good way to help with your rating. So if you're like, look, I can't get it above 32, like it's too hard, right? Take it down a number or two and just move quicker, like move faster, do a whole series of pieces where you just gotta go, right? And you gotta move. Because if you don't move it, you're slowing it down, but it's just so quick and so fast that you just gotta move. And so that's a really, really good example as well of the flip side from what normally you're doing is to try and strengthen and feel the connection, that sort of thing. But on the flip side of it, you just got to move, man. You got to be fast. And so that's why at certain points going down in your drag is a really good tool to use in terms of your development as well. Okay. Thanks, team. Found 28 with varying drags the most educational for myself. Second half session, I was able to gain meters in each piece. Perfect. That's exactly what we want to do. And hence why anything we do on here, on this channel, sessions, whatever, always looking so that you should finish it and question yourself. We should analyze it and go, oh, I like that part. Fuck, I felt like an absolute muppet in that. And so all of those things are about literally education, development, education, self-confidence, the whole works. That's why we're here. Okay. Right. Perfect, team. Thank you very much. I'm out of here. I've got to go find the dog. Badger, where are you? Saw him chasing some birds and stuff before. At least the gate's shut so he can't escape. But look, thanks, team. We'll be back here next week. Continue on the journey. So until then, keep up the good work. Keep doing your own things, chugging along, learning, experimenting, okay, and just really looking for that focus of what you're currently doing and the things that we need to change, okay? And And as I've always said, if there's anything that you'd like differently or you want to focus a little bit more on, just send me a message. Yeah, Instagram's probably the easiest. And we'll just have a chat, okay? Really simple, okay? Thanks, team. All the best. We'll see you guys here later. Peace out.